Hi, everyone. This is Patty Post, your host of the Persevered podcast. And today I have a local guest with me, but we're virtually meeting. Today I have Haylee Houkom, who is the co-founder of Power Plate Meals. Haylee, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here. I really appreciate it.
You bet. Now, I would like to say you're a startup, but you're not. You've co-founded the business with your husband, now husband.
Yep.
And tell me, how long have you been around?
We're going to be hitting 7 years in April. So April 18th
Oh.
will be 7 years since our first retail store opened. We're technically already in year seven since we started, but 7 years for our first retail store coming up.
Congratulations.
Thank
Most
you. Yeah.
businesses can't make it past two, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to think that it's been 7 years. I'm like, how did that happen so fast? So it's been
Yep.
good.
It's like a blink of an eye. And you're going to
Yeah.
be a mom soon, so you are really going to know how time flies fast.
Yes, I know. First baby. So we are very excited. Power Plates was our first, I would say, baby. So
Uh-huh.
we finally felt like we were ready for family. So we're
Oh,
excited.
that's so great. So great to be at a place of your business where you then can take on other life responsibilities that are so
Yes,
meaningful.
yes,
Good for you.
absolutely.
Congratulations.
Thank
So
you.
tell the audience about Power Plate Meals.
Yes, okay, where to begin? So, Power Plate Meals is a healthy, ready-to-eat meal prep company. We are based in Fargo. Our first retail store started in West Fargo, and we now have 9 retail locations in the upper Midwest. So we are in Fargo, Bismarck, Grand Forks, and then we're in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and then Minneapolis as well. So we have 3 stores in the Twin Cities. We ship nationwide and we have wholesale meals and grocery stores too. So we have a bunch of different avenues of our business, but to put it simple, we create healthy food so busy people, families, just people on the go can have a healthy, convenient meal that they feel good about. And our menu changes every 2 weeks. We always want to, make it fun for everyone and so people don't get bored. But we make all of our own recipes. We really focus on the nutrition of our meals. The ingredients of our meals are very, very important to us. That has always been the key since we started. We wanted to make sure if you looked at an ingredient label of a power plate, you would understand what is in your food and what you are eating. So that's a big piece. They're high in protein. They're portioned under 500 calories. So a lot of great things about the meals. And then we have a wide variety of, protein sources and stuff, plant-based fish. So there's really something for everyone.
Wow. I am always amazed by the creativity that you have in your menus as well. It's eclectic and it's really not boring at all if you're going to be a customer.
Yeah, we try to make it fun. My husband and I love to, like, we are foodies at heart too. Like, we love to eat, so we like to make things, like that everyone likes to enjoy, but in a healthy way. So my husband really helps with a lot of the meal creations and stuff like that, and has worked with our kitchen team, couple chefs in the past too that have helped develop our menu and things like that. I actually cannot cook to save my life. So I have no part of anything regarding um, meals, really, because no one would want to eat anything that I prepare. So I've helped hundreds of times in the kitchen, nothing to do with cooking. But anyway, he does a great job with that side of things.
So how did you come up with this then if you don't know how to cook? What did you try to fill in the world with Power Plate Meals? What was your
Um,
why?
yeah, so we started in like 2015. And so back then, both Seth and I have always had a passion for healthy eating, and we just really felt there was a void in our community that people couldn't really just simply go find a healthy meal on the go without maybe trying to, maneuver the menu or figure out how to
Mhm.
make something healthy on a fast food menu or something like that. We just really thought there was a need in our community for healthy food that people could just come in and it was convenient for them, and that they could enjoy it too. So we were doing bodybuilding shows back then, so we were really involved in meal prep. So that was just something that
Mm.
we were doing personally on a day to day. My Seth is a fourth generation farmer. I was nursing at the time, so we were both busy in our careers, but health was just something that we always had that bond together for. So anyway, when we were competing, um, we saw different meal prep companies that were coming up back then. A lot of them were just like shipping based. And they
Mhm.
really geared towards athletes back then. Like all the marketing was people with six packs. Um, it just felt like you had to be like an athlete or something to eat the food, right? So
Mhm.
we felt if we could create healthy food that just anyone would want to enjoy and anyone would want to come, we would have something different than what was out there. And also to our storefronts, that was something a little bit different than what was already out there. You could order online, you could find meals that you could get shipped, which we do too. But there wasn't really any like retail locations that you could come in and get kind of like individual meals that like what we do right now. So we really did see a void in our community, and Seth is good at cooking. So he's good at creating things that, and he loves like a good burger, but he can turn it healthy
Mhm.
too. So he's really good at that
Mm.
kind of stuff. So it was, I always give Seth credit for the idea because it truly was. I wasn't like, hey, we're going to start this food business because I can't
Yeah.
cook, right? So Seth was like, I think we can do this and I think we can do it better. We have a passion for healthy eating. We love helping people with it. Like we felt that was something people would come to us about sometimes, whether it was workouts or healthy snacks or whatever it may be. That was kind of our fun thing that we were able to share with others about. So that was really, we just kind of had a passion for a healthy lifestyle and wanted to share it with our community.
That's awesome. Now, you said that you had your first retail location in April. And
Yeah.
so then did you start online or what was that experience like?
Yeah, so we started technically in January of 2016, and we started at Square One Rental Kitchen in Fargo. So
Okay.
downtown, there was a rental kitchen that we could rent out of. So that's how we started. But unfortunately, a few weeks into it, we must have only been on like week 5 or week 6. It was in February. They had like an electrical fire, and
Oh,
totally the whole kitchen was burnt. Like there was nothing left. They had to
oh my
completely rebuild.
gosh.
So that's where we were kind of like, okay, this was going pretty well. Basically, we shipped once a week, and then we had local people come and we had like pre-orders basically. So people could
Mm-hmm.
pre-order throughout the week, and then we would meet them at Square One on Mondays and they could come get their food. So that was kind of how we started. And so it was going pretty good for the, 5, 6 weeks that we were there. So once the fire started or happened, we were kind of like, do we wait till this gets rebuilt? Do we find somewhere else? And there really
Mm-hmm.
wasn't many options. Or we were like, do we take the leap and try find a kitchen on our own and try
Mm-hmm.
do this? So
Mm-hmm.
um, we went that route. We found our West Fargo location. It was an old Domino's. So the kitchen worked perfectly with what we needed. And there was just a tiny little storefront, and we still have it today. It's like 200 square feet. So we were like, well, we might as well sell our food right when people walk in, and then the kitchen
Yeah.
will be in the back. So from February to April, we got the whole thing ready to go. I guess we're lucky that Seth is a farmer because him and his dad were able to do a lot of stuff. They know a lot of
Oh,
different
yeah.
people in different industries that were able to help us kind of build things quickly. So we were
Yeah.
able to get that kind of turned around in just 2 months, and we opened back up in April. So
Oh, that is a great story. It was like a blessing in disguise that you had
yes.
that fire, right?
Yep, it's
Like,
exactly how I explain it for sure. Because without it, I always think like, would we be where we are? Like, how long would it have taken us to take that leap, or would we ever? How long would it
yeah.
have taken us to do that? So, the owner of Square One Kitchen too was actually super helpful too, and we learned a lot from her just from her kitchen. So she even
Mm-hmm.
guided us a little bit when we were building our own. So that was super helpful to even have that starting piece just to learn from. As we were so new and literally knew nothing in the food industry, right? So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so yeah, that was very helpful.
So let's now talk about what is your vision for Power Plate Meals? How do you cast that vision?
Yeah. So like I said, we have our 9 retail stores right now. But one thing, just kind of as time has happened, COVID happened, people's shopping habits have changed a little bit in the last couple of years. Our biggest like growth thing we're really working hard on our team is doing a really great job is expanding our wholesale market. So what we're
Mm-hmm.
really hoping, so this last year we got into all the Hornbachers locally,
Mm-hmm.
okay? We also work with Pepsi, so they have a bunch of different like micro markets. There's a little over 150, I want to say, kind of throughout. So they put us in all their different micro markets and things like that. And then a lot of our team members have been working to get us in other grocery stores kind of throughout the area. So that's a big avenue that we're working to grow because we really just want to make power plates more accessible for people. And so that's a big thing that our team has been working on. We love, our retail stores are great, shipping is great, but this is just a fun new avenue that we've really worked on for years to actually make it happen and to start getting into other places and have them sell our meals. So that's a big thing that we're working on to expand our brand this year.
Congratulations. That's a big
Yeah,
deal
thank
when
you.
you get those big contracts.
Yeah, it's been really fun. When you cook under so we have to cook under inspection for all those meals, basically like our wholesale meals. We have someone from the North Dakota Meat and Poultry. They come into our kitchen on those days and they have to watch us cook and do absolutely everything during that whole time. So we have really high standards to fulfill for that. We're also the only like ready to eat kitchen that's inspected in all of North Dakota. So
Wow.
yes, so we've worked really hard with them just to make sure we're doing everything right with all of that. And all the labels are different, the cooking process. So there's a lot that we've had to learn, but it's been really rewarding and it's been fun to see all the hard work like pay off now that we can actually, get our meals in other places now.
That's crazy. So they don't, as opposed to a restaurant that serves food on demand, why is
Yep.
it that you have to be, why are you held at a higher standard?
So it's different because someone else is selling your food and it's protein. And
Mm,
just so when you have a certain amount of protein, and then obviously that can come with, so if someone were to get sick and your meal was sold
mm,
somewhere else, it's kind of
mm-hmm,
a safety measure too, that we have followed all the protocols on how we cooked something, how we cooled something down, how we basically made the whole meal from start to finish. So that's a
mm-hmm,
big reason too, because so like our retail stores, we don't have to do that type of inspection just
mm-hmm,
because we cook the food, we put it in our own retail stores and we sell it. So
mm,
it's a little bit different when someone else starts to sell your product, especially when it's when it involves chicken, beef. Fish is
mm-hmm,
different, and like a vegetarian option would be different. But if anything's in like turkey, chicken, beef, steak, that kind of category,
mm-hmm.
it is different. Yep.
Interesting. Well, then
Yeah.
you from the consumer safety side, that's so important, right? You can trust that you're being held to the right standard, and that's why you buy it at. If you're in Minneapolis, let's say,
Yep.
then if you, well, I guess it would be Hornbachers. If I'm going to go down the street and buy it at
Yep.
Hornbachers now, yeah,
Yep.
I can trust it.
Yep, and
Yeah.
it would say there's even a little legend on it that says like USDA inspected. So that
Oh,
legend has to be on all of those meals that are sold elsewhere.
wow, that's it.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Well,
Yes, fun
congratulations to
stuff.
figuring that out. I know the
Yes, thank
regulatory
you.
hurdles. It's tough, isn't it? Like,
Yes, our team has put a lot of hard work into all the logistics of everything. So they've done a great job.
so what is the big, like, let's say 3 years down the road, do you have like a retailer that you want to be at or go international? Do you and Seth talk about like one big, like, we're going to scale this to XYZ?
Yeah, I feel it's kind of, I mean, we talk about this every year because we always want to set our goals and make sure everyone on the team is on the same page, right? I feel like kind of before COVID, our retail stores and that growth was more of a focus because that's what we were really hoping. And then COVID happened, and that just kind of changed things a little bit on how we wanted to get our meals into people's hands. So if we can get, if wholesale can expand and we can get big grocery chains, Target, anything like that that could really expand our brand all over. I would say that's big picture. It would be amazing to say people from all sides of the US can find a power plate in their local grocery store. So we're
Mm-hmm.
starting Midwest, but we hope that those grocery chains too can help us expand even further too. But yeah, I mean, I think it'd be really fun walking into a Target and finding a power plate. So that would be really fun. But
Yeah.
that would be, yeah, those are, I guess, that wholesale avenue really does help us have that growth opportunity that our team is really working hard on.
Mhm. But nice that you have the retail fixtures as well because
Yes.
I mean, it's better margins, but then it's also brand awareness and
So yeah, the retail stores, and we have learned, just like with the wholesale, that people do really like that we do have our own stores, that we can, give information about what our customers love and what we see in all the markets with our own customer base, and just knowing that there is like a power plate that you can actually physically go to and find our meals, where you don't see that with any other type of, like if you go to a grocery store, any other type of ready to or like meal that you would find in the
Mhm.
freezer, like there's not a store that you go to find those, right? So we
Mhm.
do, so it's a little bit different for us. So it is really nice to have the retail base, just like you said, for brand awareness and giving our
Mhm.
customers that experience just from us directly too.
Mhm. Um s- so your ideal customer, can you
Yeah.
talk to me about who that is?
Yeah, I mean, throughout the years, we fall into so many different categories, but I would say um, what everything tells us and what we would say like our A plus customer, what we see is, you know, busy females and males too in that, 35 to 55 range that just are busy. They're on the go. They want something easy. They want convenience. They probably have a family. So convenience is just a huge thing for us.
Mhm.
People truly love that our meals are healthy, but even more so, they love how easy they are because everyone is so busy in their, in different ways. So when you can make things easier for people, that makes a huge difference. So
Mhm.
that, but like literally, I feel like when we started Power Plates, it was so much more female based. But
Mhm.
as the years came on, then you'd have guys come in that's like, oh, I've had these, but my wife always picks them up, or that kind of
Yeah.
thing. And then they're like, okay, I can come in. But then
Mhm.
we even see, any people in their upper 60s or something or
Mhm.
70s that don't want to cook anymore, that they're like,
Yeah.
I like coming here and grabbing a few meals because I've cooked all my life and I'm sick of it, right?
Yeah.
And then you've had, we get some college kids every once in a while, or moms that buy for their kids that are in sports, like when they're in hockey or busy and they come grab
Mhm.
meals for their kids so they have something healthier after school. So we get a little bit of everything, but I would really truly say just that busy family, that's on the go and want just a healthy, convenient option for them. So that's
Mhm.
really what we see the most of.
Mhm. So you have a really strong personal brand, and when I first started following you, I'm like, oh, she really lives out what her company's brand is, and then her personal brand. You just live this really healthy way of living in my from my perspective. How has that benefited your business by growing your personal brand?
Yeah, great question. So I've really had social media since Instagram started. So it's really something I did before we had Power Plates. So it was
Mm,
something I was really got comfortable with when Instagram really became a thing. So when we started Power Plates, that was kind of my strong suit as far as just starting our social media, how we can grow it, and then how we can use, because I had a little bit of a follow base before, so like how could I use that to promote, to hopefully get
yeah.
customers and gain awareness and things like that. Um, so I think it does truly help. I see that with any brand. I mean, there are business owners that have huge, huge followings, and I see the impact that that makes with their business. Whether it's in like fitness apparel industry or so many different industries that I've seen. I feel like when people do kind of have that platform for themselves, even if it was before their business, it really has helped them because they do kind of have a customer base in a sense
Yeah.
beforehand, which can really help. But for us, I just think it really helped us, I guess, get a start for Power Plates and
Mhm.
create our own. It really just helped with our whole branding and stuff like that, I would say. And just that I was comfortable to jump on and do things and stuff like that. Because not everyone is comfortable doing that or talking on your phone to yourself and, things
Mhm.
like that.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think it's definitely helped with that and just to get the word out more and to be able to expand because healthy living and talking about healthy stuff is just something I always have done. So it was
Mhm.
easy when it transitioned into Power Plates because we were just able to do it with our own product and our own food and that kind of stuff.
Mhm. And you really are likable, and it's when you see you, you're like, oh, well, what does she do? And it's nice when you're likable. Like you just have a great
Thank you.
personality.
I
Hmm.
appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
you bet. So is there a time that comes to mind that you and Seth have persevered? I mean, that fire is definitely like very early on. You had something that you had to persevere through a situation, but
Yeah.
as the business has evolved, does something come to mind that you've persevered through that you can share with the audience?
I would say, so from the fire to throughout our like 2017 to 2019, I would say was a very big honeymoon period for us because almost every 6 months we were opening a new store. We decided to
Mm,
open a second location in Fargo, and then we decided to expand outside of that. So for a while, it was like just very honeymoon-like because it was like we opened a store, then we went to go open another
mhm,
store, and that kind of thing. It was fun. Our social platforms were growing because we were gauging different areas, whether that was Grand Forks for a little bit, and we were gaining Grand Forks customers to
mhm,
Bismarck and so forth. So I would say those years it was just really fun. It was challenging, but our team, it was just fun and exciting. So we all just worked
mhm,
really hard together to just kind of, keep growing and expanding our stores and making sure our customers had positive experiences when they started shopping with us in each community. So I would say because in 2019, that was our seventh and eighth store in Minneapolis. And then right at the beginning of January of 2020, we opened Sioux Falls. And Sioux Falls has been wonderful, but then obviously COVID happened.
mhm.
So I would say COVID, just from the fire to kind of that big honeymoon period of opening stores, to then 2020, I think that is probably where we did have to kind of get through some challenges because we just had to do things differently. Lucky for us,
Yeah.
we're registered more as like a grocery store than like a restaurant. So when so
Mm,
many different restaurants, especially in Minnesota, had to shut down, we
mhm,
luckily didn't have to because unless a grocery store was shutting down, we didn't have to. Um,
mhm,
so that was really nice. So we did have some positives with our business of being able to still be open, but we also had to be innovative because, like Minnesota, for instance, a lot of people really stopped kind of driving around. People really worked from
mm,
home. People weren't really coming to our retail stores as much. So we were just trying to think of how can we ship more? How can we make it more convenient? How can
mhm,
we still get to our customers in a different way? Can we have pre-order pickup so people can just come in and already have their order and we just hand them their bag so they don't have to sit and shop around and that kind of thing. So our team just really had to work on being innovative and just trying to make it even more convenient for our customer when times of shopping were just different. And where
mhm,
people worked from home for a while, a lot of people worked from home for a long time. Minnesota was the hardest, I would say, because they were different than the Dakotas.
mhm.
South Dakota, we barely even noticed a difference.
Yeah.
North, but it was like making those changes, making sure our customers felt safe during that time and comfortable if they did want to come shop with us. But also trying to figure out how we can still get food to people. So I would say that's where our team really had to come together to still, try to keep growing, just to try keep our customer base in that year as things were changing and no one knew. No one knew how long it was going
Mhm,
to be or how long were people going to be from home. When were people going to start shopping? Maybe hopefully back to how we used to, that kind of thing. It
mhm,
was a lot of unknowns. So I would say that's where our team really had to come together and, really think of solutions, to keep going.
mhm,
So that's
mhm.
what I would say. 'Cause like I said, before that we were having a good time and it was fun opening all the stores and yeah, we were having fun.
But it sounds like you were innovative, you adapted to where your customers were at, and now looking at 2023, you continue to grow and now your business is now that wholesale has really come out in the last couple of years. That's phenomenal. You just
Yeah.
keep crushing it.
Yeah, thank you. We're working
Yeah.
on it. Yeah.
This is a totally a selfish question, but I'm
Yeah.
wondering, so I think of Power Plate meals and I think of like Daily Harvest. And Daily
Yeah.
Harvest has I don't always love their recipes. I like your recipes better because they're I don't know, more approachable in my opinion,
Yeah.
just and I'm wondering, but I do like how they're focused on corporate, on employers, like even from a small business standpoint. I'm like, "Oh, Daily
Hmm.
Harvest, you knew me?" Wondering if you work with employers or um if you work with even health insurance, there's some opportunities there.
Yeah, at this we don't. I haven't seen that. I'll have to look into that. Because you're talking like Daily Harvest, they started with their smoothies, right?
Yeah, and then they moved to bowls and
Yes, they've
we
expanded.
saw
Yep, I've
them.
seen bowls. Yep.
Yep. And then they are targeting companies to do like monthly orders, and it's actually biweekly orders, and it's great. Like from our standpoint, I want everyone to be living, I mean, everyone wants to be healthier, but I think when you're in a high demanding situation, it's like, oh, okay, I'll head over to the diner and get french fries and a club sandwich. So for
Yeah.
me, I'm like, hey, it's already in the freezer, like take what you need. And
Okay, so you're saying
wondering
more
if you
so
ever.
are we reaching out to like other businesses and stuff to like so they can come order for their
Yeah.
employees and their team and stuff. Yes, we
Yeah.
actually do. Yes, definitely. So actually our office here we work with an or a leasing company and one of their front desk lady actually comes once a week to Power Plates and stocks their full
Yeah.
freezer so their team has it on hand. But we also reach
That's
out too.
awesome.
So we do
Yeah.
things that we call business bags, but basically we bring free meals to different businesses to basically introduce them to us. And then we're like,
Yep.
hey, if you like these, here's some opportunities on how you can get meals. And we'll give them special promos. So maybe they can order for a little bit. Or if they actually want to, yeah, place orders and stuff and come in. So we've
Yeah.
tried a bunch of different avenues of that to see what works for people.
Yep.
Sometimes it's a logistical thing of like, how do they get them? Can someone pick them up? Do they need to be shipped? That kind of
Yeah.
thing. But yes, we do
Yep.
try to make those connections and try and make it easier for people at work and stuff if they, as like a business, want to order. I know we have some
Yeah.
businesses that have some are part of like our subscriptions online that just get
Mhm.
them sent to their office too. So I don't know how they do it once they get there, but so they can
Yeah.
provide them for their team and that kind of thing. So we used to
That's
actually
what we
have
have to do.
yeah, we actually had we used to have vending machines. We recently pulled that just because just with Pepsi, they've been filling all those micro markets, but we had five of our own,
Sure.
so our team would go stock them. So say they were in like
Oh.
Swanson Health and they had their own power
Yeah.
plate vending machine, so everyone there would just be able to buy straight from the vending machine. So we did that with
Yeah.
a couple different business in Fargo. But now that Pepsi is able to help us more with different areas, we just pulled them for right now. But yes,
That's
we
so
like to make
cool.
it easier for people and try to, especially in the workplace, if you can get meals and they're already in your freezer and you don't have to worry about leaving all the time, or if you just forget food or something, it's nice to be able to have that option.
100%. So that's
Yeah.
what we have to do because I was like, I didn't say that right. I like it that you have meat in your
Mm,
meals. I think that,
yeah.
like, for me personally, it just makes it so I'm not so hungry, and I like the
Yep.
protein, and so
Yep.
that is we Checkable will be one of your customers then, because that's what we need. And I love the
Well, thank
buffalo
you.
chicken recipe that you have. I don't know what you
Oh,
do with
good.
it, but it
Yeah.
tastes delicious.
Good. What was I say that? Oh, I feel like we're just so Midwest. I mean, we offer plant-based, but they don't do as well as our briskets and our chicken and our turkey.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a Midwest thing or what, but we always like offering the plant-based. I love them.
Yeah.
But I feel like in North Dakota, Minnesota, you can't beat like a brisket and potato meal at Power Plates.
Oh, totally. Totally.
Or a
That's
chicken
what
mac
and
and cheese so people like that
right.
comfort food that we just make it
Yep.
healthier.
Yes. I love
Yep.
that. Healthy way of life. And I think one of our core values of our business is health,
Yeah.
and to support that with the food that nourishes our body, to partner with a company like Power Plate Meals, that means a lot to me as the founder. So that was one
Good.
of the
That's awesome.
reasons I
Yeah.
wanted to talk with you as well. So to learn more
Yes.
about it, and we would be
Yes.
proud to.
Thank you. That
Yes,
would
you're
be
so
awesome.
welcome. Well, Haley, let's tell the listeners how they can get a hold of you. What I want them to follow you, and
Yeah.
then give Power Plate Meals a try too if someone wants to try it. So, give us some opportunities there?
Yes. Okay, you can find us at powerplatemeals.com. We are also
Okay.
on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as Power Plate Meals. If you are local to the Upper Midwest, that's where you can shop with us in our three Fargo locations. We're in Grand Forks, Bismarck, Sioux Falls, and then in the Twin Cities, Eagan, Lakeville, and Bloomington. So you can physically come shop with us right there. But if you're not local to us, that's where you can go to powerplatemeals.com and you can either order from us one time. And I should, so maybe you can share this with everyone, but I will set up a discount code after this for you guys that you guys can get a discount off if you place an order with us online. And then we also offer meal subscriptions. So we have 5, 10, and 15 meal subscriptions. So if you just want to subscribe and just have weekly meals come, you can do that. We recently did bi-weekly ones too. So if you want to skip a week, so you
Okay.
just get them twice a month, you can do that as well. So we have two different options for that. But you can find us a bunch of different ways. And then like we talked about wholesale, we could be in a local grocery store
Yeah.
near you. We are in quite a few different grocery stores in the upper Midwest, from Hugo's in Grand Forks to Hornbuckers here to a bunch of different small towns too within South Dakota and things like that. So you might see us in one of your grocery stores, but those are some ways that you can find Power Plates. But we would love for you to come give us a try for sure.
Awesome. Well, I'm so happy for you and Seth and your whole team. It's not just about the founders, right? It's about everyone that
Yeah,
comes to
we
work
couldn't
every
do it
day. And
without every aspect of our team. So yes, absolutely.
yes, they're so important. And of course, those customers, which it sounds like you are very customer centric. So,
Yes,
love that.
absolutely.
Thanks for sharing your business and your heart for the business as well with the listeners. It was really nice to meet you, Haylee. And
Yes.
be sure to eat healthy. Order Power Plate Meals, guys. I'm going to do it. And then we'll put a code out there as well as share all of Haylee's different ways to get a hold of her and follow the company.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It was super fun.
It was fun, Haylee. Have a good day.
Okay.
And
Thank you so much.
everyone on Persevere, follow us. And if you have a guest like Haylee, a founder, someone that has persevered in business, you can message us. We have some new branding going on of You Persevere, because from the founder's standpoint, it's you either persevere through the problems that you have, the obstacles that you come across, or you quit. And me and Haylee say, keep persevering, because at the
Totally.
end of that, there is success, right?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
All right, everyone, we'll wrap that up and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Haylee.